I, Ashtiam IX, was born on Zersin, a planet with the most curious of locations as to its politics. It is located at an exactly equal distance of two very important planets, Zagrath IV, the throne world of the Zagrathian system and kingdom, and Aztamirth, the capital and trade world of the Regency of Okchama. Both were proxies of the Imperium and of the Tau Empire, respectively, and consequently have been at war against each other for centuries. The failure of the first Tau diplomats to broker a peace with the Imperium meant that their client states of Zagrath and Okchama had to ensure their borders were not trespassed. Neither side were vindicated, as the cost of the dragging war heavily weighed on the patrons in resources and on their clients in lives. That remained so until my ancestor, Ashtiam I, the enlightened philosopher-king of our planet, succeeded to convince both parties of a durable truce. His wisdom and art of diplomacy, respected by the regents of Okchama and overzealous kings of Zagrath alike, brought what has been considered for centuries an impossible feat. With the blessing of both the Tau and the Imperial Fists, Zagrathians and Okchamians appointed the Ashtiamian dynasty as their main diplomats, and an enduring peace reigned ever since. With Zersin becoming the mutual proxy of the two proxies, my forefathers ensured the two worlds around us never collide again. And so did 7 great philosopher-kings since, before my time came to do the same. Keep our kingdom as a mere vassal, that is. Our world was but the negotiating table of the Zagrathians and the Okchamians. Our great philosopher-kings, each gifted with great wisdom, were obliged to hear, watch, and correct the mediocrities of these fools for centuries, and remain thankful for the little crumbs thrown at us for the service. I had no scruple to voice this, my opinion, to Father, Ashtiam VIII, even before he adopted me. He adopted me all the same, for the rulers of Zersin are chosen among the sharpest minds of the nobility's youth, and he wanted to stay objectively true to this practice, no matter what conflicts our opinions brought. I do not still comprehend if it was luck or design, such a choice, but things were headed for a major change when I was chosen heir, and then made the 9th philosopher-king of Zersin. Schemes upon glorious schemes have I engineered since my crowning. My sorcerers had eyes everywhere, rings of spies within rings of untrustworthy courtesans, lovers and diplomats with questionable and ever-shifting loyalties, all corruptible, all corrupted. Such was my knowledge, such was my craft, to puppeteer them all and walk them to their demise. Oh, first, to both the Zagrathians and Okchamians I preached that neither the Imperium of Man nor the Tau can no longer be trusted for their support, as their protection waned and their resources have been much needed elsewhere. My assassins made sure that the pro-peace voices were silenced, of course. Then I managed to convince the Zagrathians that the Okchamians are heavily rearming, and so did I for the Okchamians, whom I persuaded that the Zagrathian military machine was reignited once more. The dupes started rearming simultaneously, so that their own spies started to confirm the lies I fed each of them. Next, I masterfully pressured each to pay tributes to my kingdom to ensure loyalty. In the case of a conflict erupting, you know, should Zersin join an eventual war, it could tip the balance one way or the other, don't you know? That much I did sell them too. With the extorted tribute, I expanded my army, and the bigger it became, the more I could extort. At times, it felt I was so deeply lost into my own schemes that I lost sight of what I was originally seeking at the day of my crowning, nor that it did really always matter. The game was fun, but the game has its price. Too many eyes, too many schemes, with no trust or allegiance to no one, not even my own kingdom. Those ungrateful dogs. Some of my spies and agents started acting against me. They feared that mine would start a war that could consume our kingdom. Luckily, I had my priests, and with enough sacrifices, they were shown slivers of the future. This allowed to round out traitors, but I grew ever paranoid and constantly needed to know what all minds in the three kingdoms are. I had eyes everywhere. Now I needed eyes on these eyes. And, just to make sure, eyes on these new ones too. When the war between the Zagrathians and the Okchamians finally erupted, and the great change that was promised was about to come, I found myself entangled in schemes upon schemes, which count I have long forgotten. Even my most talented sorcerers seemed lost. But they spoke about the folklore of the Lordofchange, the great conspirator. They said that he did not really mind the win, but the play. In the many years I learnt about the tenets of their sorcery, I came to value such wisdom of change. With the Zagrathians and Okchamians almost destroyed, I could have taken over their realms and ruled over a larger kingdom, even secede from the Imperium and the Tau at some point. My successor, Philosopher-Kings, could expand our borders. But all kingdoms, all dynastic empires, eventually fall after they rise. Despite the exhilaration of ambition, my undertaking was doomed from the start. Change, however, was and is the only guaranteed constant. So, to change then. Much like the changer of ways precepts, the win was no longer of concern to me. The only thing I yearned for was to continue to play. He whispered that he could grant me just that, for the right price, of course. And so I opened portals to his realm from mine, and from Zagrath and Okchama too. His servants flooded our realms. I sacrificed everything to the Lordofchange, and from the molten crowns of Zersin, Zagrath and Okchama, I forged my staff. After my ascension, he blessed me with divine knowledge and elevated my loyal people to servants of his realm. The Zagrath-Okchama kingdom was long retracted to the Imperium, and no record of it persisted, neither in the archives of the Tau nor the Imperials. It still persists, however. When change is long overdue, my kingdom manifests through the fabric of reality, and we enact the word of the changer in many epochs and corners of the galaxy, before retracting again. His plans, albeit undecipherable, the game goes on, and I, Ascension the Ninth, Philosopher-King of the lost kingdom of Zagrath-Okchama, still play.
If you like the video, please subscribe and click on the bell button for more content. This will enable us to produce similar videos in the future. Thank you.